The challenges that you have to face, not only externally when you are an international student, but internally, because you got to get through it emotionally, that makes you face things you will never face if you do not leave your local community. Here are 10 pieces of advice you really need to hear if you are an international student thinking about foreign exchange, getting on the plane, you're on your way. Before we dive into my very professional list, remember to subscribe. It's the best way to help a growing channel. Mine is very new. Hi, my name is Kaylee. I'm an American who's been living in Turkiye for 3.5 years. I am married to my Turkish husband, whom I met the second time I studied abroad in Italy. So when I tell you study abroad changed my life, I'm not kidding and I'm not exaggerating. This is advice that I wish I had had before I studied abroad. So let's roll the tape and dive into this. Tip number 1 is so simple, but I think it's really easily overlooked. If you have the opportunity to experience home cooking in your host country, you need to do that, because no culture's cuisine is adequately represented by a restaurant. You need mom's cooking. You need teyzes, you need aunties, you need grandmamas, you need cooking from the women, the matriarchs, the loves of the culture and the nation. If you want to try really authentic, made with love, amazing local food, try to have a family experience. This is easier for some situations, harder for some situations, but even if you're a university student, surely you will meet someone whose family lives in the local area who would be actually delighted to host you for dinner. So many cultures are so hospitable. So many cultures are so ready to share. Find a way to have a local home-cooked cuisine experience. This is the best way to truly try the local cuisine. Develop a portable, stress-relieving routine. It is such a stressful experience to transition to life abroad, and there's 2 different types of stresses, like a short stay and a long stay. Both of these have their challenges. Having a developed stress-relieving routine that you can bring with you and rely on in the midst of the chaos will really help you get grounded, get focused, maintain clarity, get back into parasympathetic nervous system. It will just help you so much process what you're doing, stay in the moment, and handle the emotions that are coming. So I recommend meditation, journaling, creative writing, mindful movement that you can do in a small space. Intentionally making that step to make that routine before you go is taking care of future you, so that future you can thrive. Many of us have had our mental breakdowns overseas because we are just so overwhelmed and so stressed by everything, and there's nothing familiar to soothe us. So you gotta self-soothe, and having that routine established before you go is boom, 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 game-changing. Number 3 is so essential, and it is to realize that you have international, global networking opportunities right now. So many of us, when we study abroad, we are very young. So we're not really thinking network, we're not thinking career, we're not thinking about having interglobal communication opportunities in 5-10 years. I have been able to collaborate in my life coaching business with somebody in Brazil because I met her in Istanbul 12 years ago, and she and I have both taken a transformational journey. Because we saw each other online talking about similar things and we knew one another, we were able to really seize the opportunity and benefit both of our businesses by working together on some projects. You are meeting people from all around the world who are also thinking about their careers. You're students, right? If you're a student, you're thinking about your career someday. So just be more intentional about that. Zoom out a little bit. Zoom out on the opportunities you have the chance to build so that you don't go have an international experience and then come back home and you have no connections internationally. Tip number 4 is going to sound a little strange, but it's actually something that I was taught by the Rotary program, which was the program I originally studied abroad through as a high schooler, and it is to think of yourself as an ambassador. I know that can feel a little corporate, a little weird, but you are representing your culture, your country, and yourself. When you are moving internationally, you have the opportunity to make an impression. If you have a mindset of seeing yourself as representing your culture, your country, your lifestyle, you take on more responsibility in your interactions. Also, let me just stress, the second time I studied abroad, I got a huge scholarship because I wrote a paper about having an ambassador mindset as an international student. Having that ambassador mindset can really pull you apart from the crowd for scholarships and for connection opportunities and for how you represent yourself and how you walk into a room. Don't walk into a room and act like a child. Grow up. Be an ambassador. Have this ambassador mindset. This is really going to make a really big difference later on. You'll notice the students who are here on daddy's credit card, having a great time, and those who are here trying to build their future. That one, the one building their future, is a tiny percentage, especially from students from the West. Tip number 5 is going to sound so judgy, but just hang in with me. Do not, I repeat, do not get wasted and trashed excessively. I don't even think you should be doing it at all, but excessively. Here are some of the reasons why. 1, you don't know where you are, and you don't know the language, and you don't know how to sober up fast in a place where you're so disoriented while you're drunk. You make yourself a target. You make yourself easy to abuse, easy to use. Don't do that. Don't do that. 2, you'll make a complete fool of yourself. You will act like such an idiot, and it'll haunt you. It'll haunt you. 3, what is the point of having such an incredible experience to only be blackout drunk and not remember half of it? If you just get trashed and wasted and party and you're blackout every weekend, what was the point of doing that in Spain or France or Italy? You should have just stayed home, because now the majority of your trip is gone in your head, hangovers, and you have missed the opportunity to really embrace the transformation, change, and connection building that comes when you are an international student. And let me just tell you a story of something I witnessed one time. I went on a trip to Croatia, and there was a bunch of Americans on this trip. We went to a bar. Everybody was trashed. Me and maybe 2 other people weren't trashed, but everybody was trashed, including the male tour guide leaders. A bunch of middle-aged Croatian men came in, picked which girl they wanted, pushed them up against walls, and started making out with these blackout drunk girls. 40-year-old men making out with 20-year-old girls because they were so drunk and so blackout, and none of them even remembered it. You don't want to be part of that. You do not want to do that. So don't waste your study abroad on getting trashed. Oh, I'm so into this video that I'm like leaning in. Okay, posture. All right. Tip number 6 comes with a resource. Figuring out visas and housing and scholarships and university admission, all of this stuff, it can be so challenging. So if you have your heart set on a country and that's where you want to go, find out what resources are available to you. If you want to study abroad in Turkey, for example, I have a connection with StudyU. This is a study abroad assistance organization that helps you get everything together for a very fair and reasonable rate. They help you understand which universities to apply for, how to apply, the visa process, how to find housing. They help you with so much. I have been working with this organization for a couple of years now, and I have seen them help students in such miraculous ways. If I had not had help getting my study abroad stuff in order to be able to study abroad, I don't know if I would have been able to do it. And maybe that just shows how needy I was, I don't know, but it's a very complicated process. It's so complicated, especially in Turkey with finding housing and all these types of things. And there are scholarships available to you that you do not know about that my friend Sinan at StudyU does know about, and he will help you get these scholarships. So if you want to study abroad in Turkey, I have a resource to help you. You can find the link down below, and if you use my code, which is in the link, you'll get $50 off your service fee. Talk to Sinan, he'll take care of you, and oh gosh, I just wish you the best on your adventure. Advice number 7 is more of an emotional support. What I wish I had done is before I arrived in either of my host countries, I wish I had set up a pre-planned call with a friend, my therapist, or my parents that I could look forward to. What this is going to do is it's going to give you the opportunity to process what you've gone through, but also as you're going through the challenges, you're going to know in your mind, okay, on Friday, I get to talk to my friend. And it helps you not feel so alone in a time that you're very alone. I remember when I landed in Italy, because I was an adult and not a teenager like the first time, I was really on my own. I had to figure out how to get to my university, how to get to my apartment, how to do this and that, how to get my phone. I had to figure everything out. So having someone ready, scheduled to FaceTime with, to just offload, gives you the hope for the conversation and the support when you need it. Tip number 8 is to learn as much of the local language as you can. And sometimes that's even just for fun. I was in Italy for a very short amount of time, and my mindset was really on a spiritual journey and transformation and finding myself. So if I had had a different mindset, maybe I would have really dived into learning Italian. I really didn't, but I did learn enough phrases and words to at least have heartfelt, good interactions with people. Not conversations, but interactions, and to show that I respected and valued the fact that I was a guest. I was a guest. This is your place, not my place, and I'm going to be respectful and kind and at least put in a little bit of effort to learn some key phrases to just have a kind interaction. My next tip is super practical. Learn the location and how to get to grocery store, hospital, police station, embassy. If an emergency happens, if something terrible happens, you don't have to learn it on the spot. You can have it already saved in your maps, already pinned in whatever map app you're gonna use, or if you're using Google Maps, whatever. Have it pinned, have it saved, know where these emergency places are. And also, maybe learn the local numbers for 911 and how to call the hospital and how to call the police, how to get a hold of emergency professionals if you need it. My last tip is just so spiritual and thinking too deep about things, but in a really awesome way. Recognize that you, as a singular unit, have been removed from what you grew up in. You've been removed from your environment, removed from your people, removed from your routines. So take the time to observe who you are. When I studied abroad the second time as an adult, it was such a different experience of being able to set my guard down and being able to really be in the present moment and coming to understand and learn how I respond and react to stress. It's an opportunity to be who you are in an environment that doesn't make a cultural or communal demand of you. That nobody in this part of the world, nobody in this current moment is looking at you through a lens of who they think you are, because nobody knows you and the culture has no expectations of you. So it's such an incredible opportunity to really dive in, to really understand, who am I? What brings me joy? What hurts am I holding on to that I'm ready to let go of? What do I want out of life? How can I help people? What is my purpose? What do I believe in? What do I want to see in my life? What does it mean to me to be fulfilled, to be happy, to be healthy, to be strong? Asking yourself kind of these existential questions is a really great thing to do when you are abroad, because it really feels like being unplugged from the cultural norms and the community norms and the thought pattern norms of what you grew up in. I'll close that point out with saying something that my father taught me. My father said to me, as he encouraged me to travel, there's something inside of us that sleeps until we travel, and then it awakens. Pay attention to what awakens. Pay attention to what is asleep. Pay attention to your inner world and have a journey that's not only external, but also internal. If you have any questions, or you want to have a conversation, or you just want to start a dialogue with me about this journey you're on, or you have been in, or you've experienced before, my inbox is open. You can send me an email. It's right down below. And also you can message me on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching this video. I ask that you please subscribe. And if you like this video, the next video to check out that I think you will just absolutely love is how to find friends as a foreigner, where I really deep dive into the process of finding friends as a foreigner, because it's not an easy challenge, but it is a fun one. I appreciate you. I'm so happy and grateful that you gave me a few minutes of your time, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Doesn't that sound so rehearsed? I've said it several times. I'm like really working through that. Also, I feel like I was so hunched in this whole video because I'm just like, I don't know. I sat, instead of sitting on the edge of the couch all proper, I crisscrossed my legs. Anyway, bye. Girl, you're good. You're good. Don't overthink it, you're fine. Okay, that sounded so crazy. I don't ever say things like daddy's credit card.